everybody. Welcome to Cubism. I'm Aaron.
I'm Drew.
And after a pretty long hiatus this time, I was out of town a bunch. I was in Ontario actually a lot. I was in Sioux Lookout visiting Austin, old Cubism co-host. And
Inferior.
Some might say inferior.
Well, I'm more reliable, so.
Lives in Winnipeg, more reliable. 2 weekends ago, and last week I was in Toronto for Nationals, which was it was kind of whatever. I got to talk to a couple people about Cube. Didn't really have wasn't really that busy, unfortunately. Nationals is kind of a really small Grand Prix. Like Grand Prix is what 1,500 people.
How many people were at Nationals?
Like 380.
Okay. Well, last time I went, it was like 125-ish.
It was like 10 years ago, so things were different. Anyway, we're back. We're talking about core set. It feels like the set's been out for ages. But the pre-release is literally today. We wrapped our two-headed giant pre-release today. So, I was really worried that when I went to Sioux Lookout, that I remember the whole set got spoiled, and I was like, oh my god, we're going to be so behind. By the time we release our episode, it's going to be like 2 weeks into core set. But no, it was like spoiled really early.
Well, we're recording it now. Now,
okay.
When you actually release it.
Yeah, on release day.
Okay.
So we thought we were going to be really behind, but no, we ended up being kind of right on time, which is great. So this time we're taking a little bit of a different approach. We had a little more time to think about it, a little bit more time to digest.
Well, the set's been out this time, as opposed to regular.
So instead of, normally we just go through whatever cards you want to talk about in alphabetical order. We kind of chew them out through 2 episodes normally. Kind of the first impressions and part 2. This episode's going to be a little different. It's still going to be 2 parts. The first half we're going to talk about, I guess, white, blue, green card. White, blue, black cards. And then episode 2 will be the second half, which will release hopefully at the same time. As well as the top 10. If you just want to skip to all the, you want the short answers, instead of having to go, read all the paperwork, you just go top 10. Top 10 will have all the cards that we actually care about. So that aside, we're going to start with white cards, because we're going to start in Wooburg order. That was what I decided. That does make the most sense.
It causes the least amount of outrage among Magic players in general.
For many years, I sorted cards. What was it? It was black, blue, green, red, white, because that's alphabetically black, blue, green, red, white. I was told that that's archaic, but here we are.
You are an uncultured swine at times. So.
Ajani, Adversary of Tyrants, is the first card we're talking about. So, Ajani is 2 white. It's 4 starting loyalty, +1. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. -2. Return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And you get an emblem, or -7, you get an emblem with, at the beginning of your end step, create 3/1/1 cat creature tokens with lifelink. So, this Ajani is very reminiscent of old Ajanis, but being very new at the same time.
It's got a lot of the same casting cost, stats.
Reminiscent abilities, like, distribute some amount of counters, but we finally ditched the life total related ultimate
like
of
game
making
+2 or something.
A big stupid angel, or a creature's equal angel. It makes a more consistent threat instead of just, this is what I got, That being said, it looks a lot more, what's the word, lackluster? The ultimate feels pretty medium, but it's fine.
No, all the ultimates basically Elspeth. Sun's Champion, but with lifelink.
Yeah. So this is Johnny. I do like. Surprisingly, when I first read it, it's kind of like a lot of the Planeswalkers in this set. The first time I gave it a once over, I'm like, oh yeah, it's just like all other Johnnies. I'm not really that interested. But Johnny, Adversary, Tyrants. The +1 is fine. It helps you grow your team. It gets to buy back creatures. It gets to kind of do. It has 2 abilities that are very, very relevant, where a lot of other Johnnies don't. Like a Johnny Goldmane, who was good for a long time. It has 1 very good minus ability, but then, plus gain 2 life. Literally garbage. A lot of Johnnies have these 1.5 abilities, where Johnny Adversary Tyrants kind of has 2. And it has a new ability to a Johnny, buying back creatures, which is great. So.
Still doesn't make dudes, I guess.
It still
you
doesn't
count the
make
-2
dudes.
to make dudes, but there's probably you're getting a cast cost 2 or less. You have to have something die right away, and then it's probably trading with whatever. And you can only do that once, or Johnny dies. So.
Yeah, going down to 2 is kind of whatever. But the cool thing about this is, I think this card you just played on curve. It'll either revive a guy that died in combats, or just make your existing board better. And then again, its ultimate is fine. So I do like how this card plays out. I think it is a good take on an old Planeswalker that's been around since the beginning. So that being said, it's no Gideon allies in the car, and it's not really an Elspeth Knight Errant.
Or Sun Champion.
Right. But like, let's say in the World of Forest.
The World of Forest.
You know, but Gideon, Elspeth, Johnny. So this card is still very cool. I like it a lot. It does something a little different. And I'm happy that hopefully they keep going in this more interesting direction. You know, they keep kind of revamping Planeswalkers here and there. Like Chandra finally got good. You know, when's Johnny's time?
Not this one.
It's close. I think it's close. I think it's very close. Brings us to the next card. This card's super boring. Drew loves boring cards.
Yeah, in general, yes.
Cleansing Nova. 3 white sorcery. Choose one. Destroy all creatures, or destroy all artifacts and enchantments.
It's like a worse Fumigate?
Yeah, we keep getting these 5 mana. So Wraths are, Wizards is very cool, them being 5 mana in standard. We got Fumigates. We got one before that, which I'm blanking on. And then we have Cleansing Nova, which was great for me yesterday in Limited. It was awesome.
In your Placworm deck?
It went great in my Placworm deck. So this card's interesting. I do like that. Maybe a la Fumigate. Fumigate obviously is the better of the for one Wrath creatures, it's the best version of that. But this card is like a Chroma's Vengeance or Wrath that is supposed to slightly bigger.
Austere Command.
Yeah, kind of like Austere Command is probably a better comparison. Austere Command costs
6.
This costs 1 less and kind of gives you both modes. Kind of similar. I do like this card a little more.
If you're casting Austere Command and you want a Wrath guys, you're probably choosing both Wrath modes anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, this card is a kind of a new take on Austere Command. I do think it's just out of the ballpark in terms of the Wraths I want to play at the moment. But I do like the
alternatives.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nice alternatives in this set.
There is. Speaking of alternatives, I don't even know this is an alternative. This card is good, and white creatures kind of need help. That's not true. White 4s. There could just be a couple more of those. That's Leanin' War Leader. So 2/2 white 4/4 cat soldier. Whenever Leanin' War Leader attacks, create 2/1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink that are tapped and attacking.
Reuse the Ajani tokens. It's a 4/4.
You can reuse the Ajani tokens. It is a 4/4. So it's very a la Hero Blade Hold. You swap Battle Cry, or not Battle Cry.
Might actually be Battle Cry.
No. Battle Cry. Oh, it is Battle Cry. I'm thinking of Hearthstone. That's why I got it mixed up. Battle Cry is the come into play trigger in Hearthstone. In Magic, it gives your other attacking creatures +1/+1. +1/+0.
I only play good card games.
More you know. So, Leanin' War Leader, you look at this card at first, you're like, oh, I just don't want to play another Hero Blade Hold. It's kind of whatever. It looks, up front, it just looks worse. But you know what's great? More Hero Blade Holds. This card's probably fine. Trouble Cats. You play Regal Caracal, eh? Ooh, Trouble Cats.
I do play Regal Caracal now.
Trouble Cats. What am I telling you? So this card's probably fine. I might actually try it again. It's a little try it alongside with Hero. It does feel a little redundant, but both cards are very, very impactful. So it's
it's not like a hard you play Baneslayer and Lyra. You can probably play both this and Hero.
Yeah. But, Trouble Cats. Big fan.
Big fan.
All right, board cards Drew likes consist of Remorseful Cleric, 1 and a white, 2/1 flying. So you can sacrifice it to exile all cards from target player's graveyard. You give Mistral Charger any ability, and it's excellent. Home run.
I kind of don't like that it exiles a graveyard.
So that came up in conversation, especially on Reddit and stuff like that, is the arbitrary hate for other strategies in Cube. This card's pretty full. It's got a Scavenging Ooze, protection here and there. You kind of have to walk this line of you don't just want to stop people from drafting Reanimator and this and that. I don't think that there's too much graveyard hate running around that this is going to be whatever the camel's back saying is. Yeah. But
it's the last straw. It's
really, really the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's sad to get so excited about. Well, take this common and give it any ability. Literally, it's you can sacrifice, give a creature +1/+1.
The problem is,
I play it.
I have an Altered Mistral Charger or Stormfront Pegasus.
I think I traded it to you.
No, I think I got. Yeah, maybe you did.
I probably did.
But I have to cut it for this thing.
It's so sad that we live in this world. Give it any ability. I just want to justify it. Any ability, and I'll play it. Remorseful Cleric, great card. Might be the best card in the set. Which is sad. It's not the best card in the set.
Resplendent Angel?
But got a lot of hype, and that's Resplendent Angel, which is a really weird name now that I've actually said it out loud. 1 white 3/3 Angel, buffed by Lyra, flying. It didn't give you each end step. So if you're gaining life in your opponent's turn, If you gain 5 or more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Pay 3 white, 6 mana. Until end turn, Resplendent Angel gets +2/+2 and gains lifelink. So every time you read this card, it gets a little worse. You see at first, it costs 3 mana, has evasion, a literal wall of text that has to be good, right? Then you read it again, and you're like, it's kind of hard to cast. You read it again, does it have lifelink? I thought I had lifelink the whole time. You read it again, I thought it gave your team lifelink or something. I thought it buffed your team.
For 6 mana.
And then it's all of a sudden not good at all. 6 mana, give +2/+2 lifelink to turn is bad. That card is not. Oh my god, that ability is atrocious. You have to. I don't know how deep you have to be into the life gains archetype to make this card playable.
Yeah, Johnny's Primates and your
Archangel Thunes.
The artifact that reshuffles your library for 5.
Why can't I remember the name of that card? I saw so many of it. I can't remember the name. Yeah. Anyway, it's a 1 mana. 1 mana artifact. Pay 2, sacrifice it. Felons, shuffle your graveyard into your deck. Gain 5 life. I had one guy ask if he can buy all of ours once, because he thought a lot of casual players think it's insane, but it gives you an angel. Who knew? They were right. So that brings us into blue. Blue was looking a little thin. I had to read the spoiler a couple times to get there, but we got a couple ones. Starting with Exclusion Mage. 2 and a blue, 2/2. When Exclusion Mage enters the battlefield, return target creature and opponent controls to its owner's hand. Importantly, a wizard human.
Is that really that important?
Well, it has better typing. If there's a reason to play this card, if you're going deep with Champion of the Parish, Thalia's Lieutenant, that kind of stuff. It is a human. I wanted it just to be a new Mana War, because I just hate Mana War. And I don't really have a good reason to hate Mana War, but
the old foil looks so nice.
It does look very nice. Maybe because I have to play. The Portal one's pretty funny. It's like this big thing eating a shark.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good too. I just wanted a new Mana War, and we had Aether Adept for so long, the 1 blue Mana War. But it was a little harder to cast, strictly worse. This card, strictly worse, cannot bounce my own guys. Much better creature typing.
I don't think
but still worse.
Only your opponents is that much of a downside.
It's probably not that much worse, but...
I didn't think that I really wanted one, but I think I'm going to run it in, because I just don't have a lot of blue 3s that I like, so...
Well, I think we talked about it last episode, I think in the Battle Bond, blue creatures do a lot of this. If you try to even out your blue creature curve, it's a nightmare. There's a lot of bad ones. So, Exclusion Mage is great. It's just another Mana War. It's just not quite Mana War, a little better than Aether Adept.
I'd say a lot better, just because the casting cost is
a lot better than Aether Adept. Oof. Yeah, cool art. Looks like kind of punk rock. It's kind of weird. Speaking of weird art, let me tell you about Psy Master Thopterist. Thoptometrist?
No, Thopterist is probably it.
I saw it and I was thinking Thoptometrist. Anyway. Psy Master Thopterist.
It works under the Thopter's teeth.
Absolutely.
Thoptometrist.
2 and a blue, 1/4. Legendary. Doesn't have cast down. Very important nowadays. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. Pay 1 and a blue, sacrifice 2 artifacts, draw a card. I like that there's a lot of them in the set. Just like Magic Origins, which was the last core set. There's these Thopter engineer guys that make Thopters when they come into play. Because I really like that mechanic. I like that it was in Origins. I like that they implemented it into Kaladesh. Obviously, they're from Kaladesh.
Yeah, there's a bunch of it in my battle box.
They're great. Pia and Nalaras, all those kind of guys. They're all people. So, Master Optometrist isn't a card that Drew and I will be playing, but it seemed like a very interesting powered card. Its body is super, super good. It fills the blue 3-drops that we previously talked about. Blocks really well. It generates you free value, and also draws you cards, which is great. I wish Drew and I had more experience with power. This seems right up that alley.
Might be a bit slow, but...
It does seem a little slow. But the body's real good. And blue creatures are bad, again, as previously discussed. So, I think this card's very interesting. I think any of you who have a power to cube, if you have any experience with this, let us know. I'm very curious to hear about it. I actually might try out power for a little bit of time again, so depending if I want to make that jump.
Commitment.
Those cards are they're really expensive. Not fine.
You just borrow my duels.
Borrow and power next. Tezzeret Artifice Master. Artifice?
You're really bad at English today.
Tezzeret Artifact Master. 3 blue, 5 loyalty. +1, create a 1/1 colorless Opera artifact creature token with flying. I always want to say till end of turn for some reason, but it is not till end of turn. 0, draw a card. If you control 3 or more artifacts, draw 2 cards instead. And then 9, -9. You get an emblem with at the beginning of your end step. Search your library for a permanent card and put that card on the battlefield. Shuffle your library. It's weird that it's not an artifact. Does it matter? Oh, I guess because he made the planar bridge, which tutors for anything and puts it into play. That probably makes sense. That's probably the flavor.
It makes a guy as a plus.
So
makes it better than Johnny.
Tezzerets I'm happy that like Tezzerets, even though Tezzeret the Schemer wasn't super good, Tezzeret must have the best track record for being good.
It's got a really niche identity. I do artifacts, and I like to play with artifacts. So
even like Tezzeret Master of Metal, like Planeswalker deck guy, wasn't bad. So Tezzeret Artifice Master it costs 5 mana. It gives you a free guy. Drawing 2 cards a turn is no slouch. The ultimate is kind of weird, but you get the permanent right away.
You're probably not getting there. You're just going to be drawing cards and winning anyways.
I would imagine. So Tezzeret's really cool. It fits into the Empowered, I assume, very, very well. I don't know how many Tezzerets you need, because like Tezzeret the Seeker is better.
They all tend to cost 5.
Well, you have Tezzeret the Seeker, who's better. You have Tezzeret Agent of Bolus, who's most likely better. Sans being a 2-color card versus 1. But like, how many Tezzerets do you possibly need? Because you also need to play Jace the Mind Sculptor. So how many are you going to fit? Tezzeret Artifice Master I think it's a cool card. It's randomly one of the more expensive cards in all of M19, which is kind of surprising.
Excellent art.
I think they're trying to live this 3-month dream until Kaladesh rotates out. But, this card's cool. Art's not bad. I don't know all these spooky trees. Anyway. Artifice Master's cool. I look forward to maybe trying it in the future of me maybe one day playing Power Cube. Assuming we get these nice proxies, because I'm poor. It's rough out here. It's real hot in Winnipeg. It sucks. So that brings us to black. The last color we'll be talking about today. And the super underwhelming Bone Dragon.
Why did you put this on here?
Because it's a Bone Dragon.
There isn't many 5 black cards.
No, black 5-drops are they exist. There's 2.
They are.
There's Custody Lich, Shriekmaw, which I don't really count.
Gray Merchant.
Gray Merchant. Okay, well, as we name them off, there's more than 2 now. I feel like an idiot. Sidisi. I was going to say Sidisi and Custody Lich, and then I would have felt like an idiot not remembering Shriekmaw. But the black 5s are bad. This card isn't very good, but we're talking about it anyway. Black, as a common theme in the black section, and the common theme, like every time we talk about black, is the creatures are terrible.
This got an ability in the graveyard. That's why it has to be why it's mythic.
Like, why is this card mythic? So, Bone Dragon is 3 black, 5/4 flying. Pay 3 black, exile 7 other cards from your graveyard. Return Bone Dragon from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
Dredge 7 graveyard. 7 cards.
Like, why is this card limited? Like, is this card mythic as a limited? Like, you're gonna buy it. Like, you can only buy it back once in limited ever.
I'm telling you, it's a core set. It's confusing the new players, allegedly. So, since this has an graveyard activated ability, let's make it a mythic.
It's kind of cool looking. Look at that.
It's a dragon skeleton.
It is a dragon skeleton. So this card costs 5 mana. Black cards need black.
Size the lightning bolt.
It's a 5/4. Has 2 lightning bolts. 2.
Flame Slash.
Has a Flame Slash. Bone Dragon, real boring. It has a graveyard ability. I don't know. This card's cool. I don't think I'll ever try it, but it's interesting. Tribal Dragon. It's good with your 3 mana Sarkhan that we're probably not talking about.
Try it out instead of Blood Gift Demon.
Maybe try it out Blood Gift Demon. But like, speaking of creatures that like, black creatures are all the same. They're all the exact same cards. So the next one I'm talking about is Demon of Catastrophes, which thank God it has different art than the game day art or Store Championship art. It's real bad. Really, really bad. Demon of Catastrophes. 2 black, 6/6. Flying Trample. As an additional cost, unfortunately, to cast this creature, to sacrifice a creature. I really wish it was coming to play Sacrifice, because you don't get blown out nearly as much. And I want to like this card, but it just didn't. And I do like this card, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm probably going to play it.
Yeah, this is your baby. Continue.
But black is eternally these Desecration Demon, Abyssal Persecutor effects. How big body. That one's a pretty even cost ratio. Big body, small mana cost, little drawback. Like how we're going to keep shaving off the drawback a bit. Desecration Demon is pretty close.
I
But
like
your
Desecration Demon.
opponent can just keep icing it if they want. They'll keep, tapping or sacrificing a creature to tap it. Demon of Catastrophes, on the other hand, is you have to sacrifice the creature, but then you have the 6/6. So if you do reanimate it or, cheat in the play, you don't have to sacrifice it. Then in theory, it has no drawback at all. So, I like this card. I want it to be good. I'll probably end up trying it. I kind of know what I expect out of it already. I'm sure everyone does. Be very medium. I'm sure it'll be fine. You'll sacrifice a wiener guy, maybe a bone dragon. Buy it back later.
It's a little bit out of order.
Just as Wizards intended. But obviously, black is like chock full of idiots, like Scrappy Scrounger, Bloodsoaked Champion, Bloodghast, all these other idiots. There's easy ways to get value out of this card, but I just don't want to get I don't want to get excited again. This black this is the tragic story of black creatures.
Moving on.
So this creature's actually good. The only tragic thing about it is its mana cost.
Yes. Actually, yeah.
It's not even a sorcery. Graveyard Marshal. Black, 3/2. Zombie Soldier. Pay 2 and a black. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Create a 2/2 tapped black zombie creature token. Black zombie creature token. Which can include Bone Dragon. You can remove Bone Dragon. Maybe that's why Bone Dragon's so good. It's because you can sacrifice them to Demon of Catastrophes and then exile them with Graveyard Marshal. So Graveyard Marshal, up beyond costing double black, it has a fairly good effect that isn't activated as a sorcery like you'd kind of normally expect.
Comes into play tapped.
It does come into play tapped. But it is double black, and that is the biggest problem with this card. Its stats are fine.
A little above average for black cards.
Yeah. So again, every single black card we're talking about may or may not be a black creature. So this card's fine. I'm going to try it. I think this is probably the easiest addition from black out of the set. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this card. I think this card's pretty standard. That's kind of what Corset is, right? A lot of these cards aren't super dynamic, unlike the very dynamic Bone Dragon. So Graveyard Marshal seems like they kind of want to. Wizards likes having these tribal decks for 3 months until they rotate. And the zombie deck is almost there again. You still because I think people forget you had Lord of the Accursed, you still have Liliana's Mastery, so we're gonna have a zombie deck for maybe 3 months. But you're adding this guy, right?
Yeah, for now. I feel like he might be disappointing on the mana cost. I might have to cut a 2 black card to play him, and there's only one of those on my list currently.
You think this card's better than Gifted Aetherborn?
Well, my only black card is Bloodghast right now.
Yeah, that card doesn't count. Well,
he's altered.
Let's say
really
you have the option. Gifted Aetherborn, Graveyard Marshal. I forgot the name there for a second. 2 very different cards, but Gifted Aetherborn's the other black pushed creature recently. I did try him for a while. It very often costs it's very often a 3-drop, but the body's still fairly good. So I guess the ceiling on Graveyard Marshal is
it's just got additional utility, and when you can squeeze that in, it makes the cube more interesting.
Yeah, that's true. So this card, it has to be. Why is this card mythic? This is easily the most.
It's got a lot of text.
Dynamic card out of all of them, and that is. Oh my god, how do you pronounce this thing? Izareth?
Sure.
Izareth.
I prefer you to go first because it's more entertaining for me.
Izareth the Awakener. This is 1 black 3/3 Death Touch. Kind of whatever body, whatever mana cost, wall of text. When the Awakener attacks, you may pay X. When you do, return to a creature card with converted mana cost X or converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield. I for some reason assumed it was X or less, with a corpse counter on it. If that creature would leave the battlefield, exile instead of putting it anywhere else. That's kind of weird. I guess you can put it you can shuffle back in your library, which makes sense. So kind of a la Alicia, a little more open-ended, easier to cast. Well, that's not true. It's easier, not 2 colors. This card, again, wall of text. The card looks interesting. It's very boring. We'll play because it's a black creature. It can buy back Bone Dragon without having to exile 7 cards.
And your demon as well.
Ooh. That's good. Yeah, so this card's been out for a while. People talk about it a lot. I'm pretty interested in it. Again, 1 black isn't not super exciting. This card is 2 and a black. I wouldn't think twice about it.
It's one of those ones that I have on my list. Kind of hesitant about it because it's not. Oof.
It definitely runs into die. Like, it's not winning combat.
That's the problem. It's gonna kill something. It's got
Yeah.
that touch. So
Yeah, card's kind of interesting. I'm sure it'll be a good role player until eventually replaced by another black creature in the future. So, and that's kind of like all of the black creatures that in this, like all of them are okay. It's just Sans Bone Dragon bad. The other 3, they're all fine. They're all kind of what you expect out of black creatures. They're, good. Have a drawback, mana cost, this and that. Will be fine for X amount of time. Replace later on. Kind of how they all turn out. Except for Rune Raider, MVP
surprisingly.
of the year, black creature
Of the year?
of the year.
Of the year.
I can't think of any other black creatures.
Well, off the top of my head, definitely not.
At least most impressive.
I really like Bone Dragons.
No, you don't. No one likes, but it's cool art.
It doesn't.
Bone Dragon. Anyway, so that's it. That's it for the first part. Hopefully you enjoyed the first part of it. Everything except for Bone Dragon. We'd like to thank the Mana Base, who I always forget to bring in the mention in the beginning of the video, and will not next time. I promise. Need those advertising dollars. You know what I mean? So thank you to the Mana Base. They're your home base for all things Magic the Gathering. They're the sweet website and content provider lets you see us in all of this glory. Help us bring content to you that you obviously want. Or else why would we make it?
Because we have nothing else better to do.
Nothing else better to do. We talked about Bone Dragon for too long. So, anyway, thanks for checking us out. We'll have episode 2 hopefully linked somewhere in the description or YouTube description or wherever else I put this. SoundCloud description. Other than that, I'm Aaron.
I'm Drew.
And that's Bone Dragon.